Hey traders, it's Steve with the Stock Index Trading Room, and in this weekly recap, I want to do a follow-up with the signal that we introduced in our webinar Thursday February the 11th. And if you haven't seen that and would like to just visit our YouTube channel, you can go just to YouTube and type in the search box Stock Index Trading Room, and it will take you to all of our videos there. You will find advanced patterns in order flow that lead price from the Thursday the 11th, and this is a follow-up from that. And today we're going to talk about reversing order flow, a reversing order flow signal that is allowing us to get in turns or reversals substantially earlier, and that's always a good thing. And then I'm going to recap the signal for the first 2 weeks of February. Let's look at this. If you've not read through this, please pause the video, do so, and then come back when you're finished. In everything in life, there's a causation and an effect of that causation. In trading, knowing the cause of future price movement often means a difference in being in front of and behind that price movement. Do we find ourselves continually trying to catch a moving market? Are we late getting in? Or have we determined that in order to be consistently successful, we must determine a way to get in front of future price movement, at least a majority of the time? See, there's only one thing that causes price movement in all markets all the time, one thing and one thing only, and that's order flow. An abundance of orders on one side or the other coming into the market will affect price in that direction until that changes. Fortunately for us, there's no other factor that will move price except order flow. See, order flow causes price to move. Our price will always follow current order flow. So if we know this, and then we have a method to take advantage or capitalize on this, would be the difference, in my opinion, in most of our members and most winning traders' opinion. That's the difference in winning and struggling in our trading. We have an indicator called SmartTradeMarkers Oscillator that reads order flow incredibly well. It has a couple of other features, a feature called Smart Breakpoints. We're going to talk about that briefly with you. But Rob Mitchell, World Cup trading champion, developed SmartTradeMarkers Oscillator to identify where an unbalanced number of traders are likely to be trapped on the losing side of upcoming price movement. And if we can determine that, we can get on the other side. And then as the market returns to balance, these trapped traders are squeezed out. They exit their losing positions and the market moves in our favor. Now, knowing this, when and where it's most likely to happen, nothing's 100%. We're going to benefit. And that's how we do. That's how we do in the Stock Index Trading Room. We're going to talk about smart breakpoints and lead outs here in a second on our chart. We're not going to talk about the no-name signal at all, but we're going to talk about what we call the Santa Claus signal. And I still chuckle when I read that, and I'll talk about that when we get to the chart. But we're going to look at smart breakpoints, and it identifies where immediate price direction, both continuations and reversals. And having this at our disposal has allowed many of our members to trade at a level they, quite frankly, are telling us they never would have believed possible. So smart price spin signals continuations, we'll look at that a little. We're basically going to look at our signal and recap it. We'll teach you that in the room if you decide you want to come and trade with us, and if you don't need to know that information. But it does talk about where there's tremendous local order flow strength continuing, or when order flow is strong enough to cause trap trader oscillator to exceed or take out our previous smart breakpoint lead out, we often get reversals, which is a pretty cool thing too, right? So let's look at a chart. This is from Friday, February the 12th, 2021. All of our indicators, and we're going to talk about one signal. We're not a one-trick pony. We have a lot of things to share, and these are taught. There's teaching posts in the members area for our members to latch on to what they like and what they believe, and away we go. We're going to talk about, it's a single engulfing bar that reverses order flow on trap trader oscillator, and it's gone. It's 4 points down or up before we can get that out. So market's really moving. So we call it Santa Claus because of these green and red horizontal lines. These large dots on trap trader oscillator are called smart breakpoints, and you can see Rob has coded it to give us a reference for immediate order flow. You notice that when we break green, we tend to go up. Here was one bar, we break red, we tend to go down. Break red, tend to go down, and so on. And we have lots of ways to apply this. We're going to use the simplest and most effective way for you in this presentation. So the Santa Claus signal is simply this. It is we trade it from trap trader oscillator extreme. This is just on or above our purple line. Above our purple line, it tends to go down. Below our purple line, it tends to go up. It's that simple. This is where there may be too many people on the here short side thinking that we're going to reverse back down in here, and trap trader oscillator says no, 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 and so on. So we're going to look for in what we call a TTOX, trap trader oscillator in an extreme, and it's real simple. We want to break down through these one or more green horizontal lines, and at the same time we want to break down through one red or more horizontal. So we're breaking support order flow and adding selling, an abundance of selling order flow into the market, and that occurred on, I don't know why it's marking one to the left. Let's do this. I'm smart enough. There. If it'll let me move it. Right there on this bar, we have the entry 4 and 5, whatever you would have traded. We had a structure support at the top of, actually it was the top of this bar right in here, and it came down and got caught by that and took off, and that was marked in the room. So, but anyway, that's a Santa Claus entry, and you can see it went 4 and up 3 and down 5. Whether you would have traded it for 1, 2, 3, 4 points, would have held it through the reversal. However you would have handled that would be totally up to you. Now, we only had one other. This trades about 4 or 5 times a day. We have other things for continuations if you want to get involved in those. We have some over here. We have some over here. We have a really nice one here for a continuation. But what we have here is we have trap trader oscillator undervalued, meaning, hey, potentially there are going to be some people squeezed out of this. That's our first alert. And then we have this red smart breakpoint lead out and this green smart breakpoint lead out that we eclipsed, violated, or took out both on the same bar. And so we got over here, there was our entry on the reversal bar out of the extreme area right here. This also has some other factors involved with it, stuff that we've talked about for 3 or 4 years now. But this is the signal that we would look for, you know, and whether, if you follow our work, you know, we're very long bias on Friday afternoon for stocks, just because for the past 30 years they have rallied more than they haven't on Friday, pretty significantly. Now that may never happen again, and let's talk about this on the signal. Let's see if I can, it'll let me take that. Nope. Talk about this signal and this signal. I'm going to show you a recap here in a minute, but here's what we know. We may never get another one of these signals that win, and we may never get one that loses. We simply don't know the future, and we're not trying to imply that we or anyone else would know the future in a stock index trading room. But that's the signal, and what it is, it's just signaling reversing order flow. So it gets us not only in market turns, but often in structure turns where we make larger than average moves. So let's pull up SmartTradeMarkers, and if you've not seen this, this is one of the most brilliant tools I have ever seen for trading in my life. I'm going to take this out. We can label this any way we want, and I'm not going to go through all of this. You can go, again, there's some YouTube offerings on SmartTradeMarkers, and you can go search that. And if you need help finding that, let us know. But basically, we can set this up. The coder developed this to mirror the SuperDOM entry system with NinjaTrader exactly. And so what we can do is we can tell it, I want you to test it for 1 point winning and then exit with a 15 tick stop. And we give it, time frames and whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and you can see I do a lot of research for our members. Just got a lot of files, and each one of these files sometimes is for a month of signals. But we're going to take our Santa Claus signal and we're going to load it, and it even prints those on the chart, as you'll see. I have 49 signals for 2 weeks, 10 trading days, so 5 a day. So I'm gonna remove this, and we're going to start looking and analyzing this signal. What if, now that's a bit unusual. What if, there we go. What if we say, okay, I'm a scalper and I want to take 1 point. We can, and people look at this 15. We're going to look at that in a minute. You can certainly move that if that would be your preference. But if we traded this and took 1 point, we were 92% likely. We made $31 every time one fired. Now, we may never get another winner or loser, but that's what happened during these 2 weeks. Our profit factor, we were 300% more likely to be profitable than non-profitable. Of course, our largest win was only $50 because that's what we're taking out of it. But we could set this up any way we would like. We can do a break-even stop and a trailing stop and a trailing EMA stop. Chris has actually built some other factors in here that we're not going to go through. But basically what happens is this. Let's look, and let's say that we're taking a chart and we're marking these. We can build a template in Bloodhound and it will read it for us if you like. But we're going to mark these by hand because we want to get good at finding those. And we go winner, winner, loser, loser, winner, 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 winner. Winner, 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 winner. Oh, holy smoke. I probably need to pay attention to that. Loser, loser, winner, 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 winner. And I'm going to teach you something about statistical probabilities. At 92%, you can expect 2 losers in a row and 18 winners in a row through a complete cycle. So now that's just for 1 point, and that worked well. Now let's do this. Let's put a 2 point target, and of course everything almost doubles. Our expectancy's better, $60 a trade rather than 30, and that type of thing. But at 86, we can expect at some point to have 3 losers in a row. There's outside possibility on a number release or something we could get 4 in a row, but basically our expectation here is that we would not have more than 3 in a row. And of course, you see we don't even get that in our 2 week 49 signal week. Again, we have the 2 losers in a row and 1 there. And then I think this is 15 or 16 in the window. That would be 18 or 19 or 20 winners in a row. And that's true with anything. It doesn't matter what signal you're taking. That's statistical probabilities. It's just the way statistics work. Now, so let's go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. That was at 30. Well, let's look at that. We could look at that. What if let me move these two out of the way. What if I wanted to take twice what I gave? I'm 240% likely to be profitable on this trading situation. Normally we don't do that. Normally we would represent 5 points or 4 points. This number, because of this, is reversing order flow, and we'll get, I'm sorry, we'll get reversing order flow at tops at turns. This bottom number is huge. And, as you saw, we can massage that and do whatever we would like. And our profit goes up. But I want to be consistent, so let's put it back. So if you were trading it for 1, 2, or 4 points, not ticks, that's the result you would expect. Now I want to talk about this for a second. Our daily win and loss will mirror our statistical probability. And what does that mean? That means if I'm trading a 90% strategy that performs at 90%, and we have no idea how it's going to perform, I'm going to expect 9 out of 10 days will be profitable. If I'm doing an 86, I would expect 86 out of 100. Our daily result over time mirrors our signal proficiency. So if we look at this, we can see, yeah, I had a day that didn't win, and then I had 9 days that did. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 10 days, my average win was, or my net profit was larger than my net loss. So here we have a scenario. If this continues in the future, and we don't know again, but if it does, that I'm going to be profitable on more days than I'm not, and my average profit is going to be larger than my average loss. And that's pretty spectacular in my opinion. So TradeMarkers allows us to do anything within the parameters. We want to say, hey, I want to use a smaller stop. Let me do this. Our profitability is 80, 55. So this going using a 4-tick smaller stop would have cost what was that? $2,500. $2,500. So we're not saying do this. Obviously, that's up to you and your financial advisor. We just do research for our members and show them, hey, this is the scenarios. We're not even saying this is best. We're just saying, hey, this is the scenario that we have, and we offer this to our members, and they decide, hey, what's good and what's not good. And, for them, not for me or us or you or anybody else. We have to trade to the realization for ourselves. So that's enough. Santa Claus signal, reversing order flow that often picks market turns in an uncanny fashion using trap trader oscillator, smart breakpoints, and a double reversal that you can see has a track record that's pretty impressive. It impressed me. And so I'm going to wrap up. And with this, if you have questions, shoot me an email, support@stockindextradingroom.com, or just reply to send it to support@stockindextradingroom.com. And if you want more information, visit our website, www.stockindextradingroom.com. If you want to come join us, tap the tap here now to get started. We have a discount code that's still in effect from our webinar. If you would like that and save a substantial amount of money, and I'm sure you would, shoot me an email and I'll get that to you. So on behalf of World Cup trading champion Rob Mitchell, I'm Steve Myers, and the members of the Stock Index Trading Room. Have great success in your trading, and hopefully we'll see you in our room soon.